Namaste, this is Rishikesh Writings, and we are in Rishikesh with Mother Ganges. Today, our guest is Purple Yogi, Pandit Vijesh ji, who's been living since 4 years in Rishikesh, and let us know her experience in Rishikesh and its transformation toward the light. Um, Namaste, Vijesh ji.
Namaste Anand, how are you?
I'm good. So Vijay, how this transformation comes in your life? Like when you arrived from Pune to Rishikesh, and you was paralyzed on the wheelchair, and after spending a month and months, and you become healed in Rishikesh. And how this journey started, and what is the value of Rishikesh for you as a seeker or a visitor?
First of all, Rishikesh is everything to me
Yeah.
because I got my life back. I got the purpose of my life in this particular city and decide having a healthy life. I find myself very comfortable on spiritually as well. So you can say my soul resides here in this city.
When you talk about the soul or about when you talk about the seeking a purpose, so what is your purpose in Rishikesh?
When I came, so I had a lot of ideas, like any other person who comes to Rishikesh. But I have seen over the period of time that most of the people who come here are seeking something. Some people are seeking mental health, mental peace rather. Uh, Few of them are on spiritual journey, and few have been nursing their hearts. So generally, these are the people who visit Rishikesh. Although all sort of people visit here. So in my case, I had a physical issue. I was not well. I was wheelchair bound, and I didn't know how to go ahead. So somebody suggested that I should go to Haridwar and go to Baba Ramdev's ashram. So from there, it came in my head that I have a friend who stays in Rishikesh. I just happened to call him. When I called him, he was on that call was a video call, and he was probably standing somewhere at this place. If you can just take it around and you see how beautiful it is. So when I saw, I said I want to come, and that's how it started. And within 1 month, I was here. I left the place where I was for 30 years. I left the place in just 30 days. And since then, I arrived in the city. I think every day I come to Gangaji. Whenever I am here, mostly I am here only.
When you talking about the spirituality or when you talk about yourself or a soul agenda, how do you find your soul in Rishikesh?
When we say finding soul, what actually we mean is just being comfortable with your own self, right? So this is one particular place where all of a sudden, all your quest, all queries, whatever you have in your head, by grace of Gangaji, the grace of the energy, what we see all around, your mind becomes tranquil. It becomes very, very normal. And moment you're normal, you become one with the, what you call the cosmic energies. And once you are in line with that, there, there remain no further question in your mind
And we saw Rishikesh is a yoga capital of the city, of the
for
world,
the world.
and you see there is a 300 yoga schools, and whenever the person search for a Rishikesh, it comes to the yoga school, but you comes for yourself and seeking. How different it is, your transformation and the people who choose a yoga school to learn a yoga or seeking something in their life.
Technically, I don't see any difference between them, both of them, right? Because eventually, either through a medium or you're directly seeking, it is one and the same thing. What eventually you're seeking your own tranquility, you're seeking your own, uh, ease and peace, and that's what everybody is doing.
And during your journey, you was sitting nearby the Ganga at midnight or 3 a.m. Sometime it will be at 2 a.m. what is that experience, and how you uh, like how you basically correlate this with a normal person and the your life you experience. Even you also put yourself near the Ganga, nearby the hut, and what is that experience for you?
That was a very unique experience. You know, you explore the maximum capabilities of your own brain. You deal with your fears, you deal with your anxieties, you deal with your stress. At the same time, when you go inside, and the moment you close your eyes, there is no other way to go. You just go inside. And when you go inside, this is a very, very rare thing. Like, if you ask most of the people, people don't have experience of closing their eyes and going inside. So we heard this terminology so many times. आँख बंद कर लो अंदर चले जाओ आँख बंद कर लो अंदर चले जाओ but it's a very rare phenomena but the moment you do it it's a whole lot of there are multi universes inside so then you understand how big the whole system is.
So, do you practice any kriya or some kind of physical exercise would help you to go inside? Like people say, oh, I would like to learn about the Kundalini, or I would like to learn about the Reiki. I would like to learn about that particular healing, and it will help you to go inside and see the universe. So, how much it's a reality, how much it is a fake? What do you thought, and what's your experience about these things? Because many people are curious about these topics in the life.
You know, there are different ways, or we call them meditation techniques. So many people they come with new ideas, but eventually, if we have to put it down in a very simple word, so what basically you are doing, you are basically aligning your mind, your soul, and your breath, right? So there are a few techniques. By practicing that, you are having a full control over your breath, right? Like pranayam and other things. At the same time, then there are many techniques like prescribed by various masters like Kriya Yogis. They do their they have their system. Then Vipassana is there, Kundalini is there. Like what was his name? Yogi Bhajan, and then but overall, if you see, there are 112 techniques prescribed by Shiva,
On Vijnan Bhairav Tantra.
Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, right? It's basically a dialogue. It's a dialogue between Shiva and Parvati. So where Parvati asks, he asks very basic question like how to control my mind, how to achieve a permanent peace, and how to be in a blissful situation all the time. So every time she asks a question, so instead of replying, Shiva gives a technique instead. So that is a compilation of 112 techniques.
And now, what is your goal now? Now you already seeker, but now you are finding some new things about. And what is tantra for you? Because some Westerner comes in the city and they thought that tantra is a very different union, and the tantra which you learn from the different master, it is very different. What's your thought about it?
You know, we'll restrict the reply
Yeah.
only toward the purpose instead of dwelling more on what is tantra and what exactly it means, what is the understanding of Indian people and Indian subcontinent, what is the understanding of a Western mind, how do they perceive when the word tantra hits their head. Coming to me, my purpose, after having such a long walk in my life, after such a long travel, by exploring almost every possible thing of mind, scriptures, and sadhana. What I have understood is that living itself is my purpose. जीना अपने आप में ही ये बड़ा ध्येय है इसके अलावा दूसरा कोई ध्येय नहीं है आई कैन formulate, I can share with you like I want to do this, I want to do that, but they are all worldly achievements we can talk about. What I have understood is that living itself is the biggest purpose. The one who understands that living is the purpose, I think he has understood everything, the basic essence of it.
And you lived the grist life also, which is called a family life. When you had a wife, you have a children, and now you left them, and you're living a separate life, which is like we called it in a yogic path, which happened. And the person who is a newcomer, like coming in the path of this, and what is your advices for them? Like they are newly and the student.
It's a long story actually. I have been when I was married and then eventually I got divorced. It's a very very long time. यानी मुझे भी अभी जो है ठीक से मैं ज़्यादा ना तो उसके बारे में मुझे भी तो दिमाग में रहता नहीं है. It's been almost 18 years I've been single and it's an amazing life being a single. I mean you are a single, you can know this better. So I have seen both parts of the world, definitely.
And you living in Rishikesh, so which part of Rishikesh is mostly attract you? There was a ramjhula, even
Every
city
inch,
and
every inch,
that's
sorry to
it.
interrupt you in between, every inch of the city is magical.
Yeah. How it is magical? Like every inch is your the city is.
One have to be there, one has to be there. You just sit, do nothing, close your eyes, focus on your breaths, and the magic start happening.
But how the person can focus? Because when we sit on some particular location or some particular scenario, the mind always start having a questions. So how you will cool down that particular mind who's always chirping in your heart, in your brain?
You know, there could be 1001 techniques for that,
Yeah.
right? What I have understood, and I'm telling you with my own experience, by doing any kind of activity, by following or practicing any kriya, it is next to impossible or a very very difficult process to calm your mind, right? The more you will attempt to calm, it's going to just wander. So let it be, just let it be. This is how we just walk. So what I was telling you, there is no other way. There is no other way. Just let it be. And if the thought comes, just be an observer. If thought comes, just be an observer. Eventually it will go away.
And many people come in the Ganga, and they says they get a transformation or they get some kind of achievement in the life. What is your transformation? What is your achievement up to now? Up to now, and what is your thought about the enlightenment world as a researcher, as a seeker?
You know, many people, if they hear me saying this, they may not appreciate it. But then eventually, you have asked me and I have to answer this. This is a big, big, big fraud.
Yeah.
When we say the term, what we call enlightenment, according to me, it's a big fraud. Because nobody is unenlightened. Everybody is enlightened. All the time you are enlightened. You know, you are able to talk to me. So unless and until you are awake, you are aware, you know, you will not be able to talk to me. So there is a big story or a big story out of nothing has been created when it comes to the word enlightenment. I have not met anybody in my life who's unenlightened.
And I saw some people say, some seekers or students say, we don't need a guru in the life. But some students say they need a guru in the life, because without guru you cannot go beyond or understand the subject of yourself. So what is your thought about this?
So definitely one should have a teacher in his life.
Yeah.
And then we keep on having so many teachers in our life. I know when you are asking me, what you are asking me, you basically mean that there's a typical what we used to have Guru Shishya Parampara,
Yeah.
you know, one teacher all your life. I believe like everything around us is a teacher.
Yeah.
As many as teachers you can have in your life,
Yeah, like
one should have it.
like Dattatreya Rishi have
Yes, 24,
24 teachers.
24 teachers. Buddha had so many. You know, when I see around, I see that everybody who was in this quest, he had so many teachers, so many gurus in their lifetime. So sticking to one particular person according to me, will be a big hindrance
So
to eventually.
you think that sticking to one person is a maya or attachment?
You can definitely say that, but it restricts the total possibility of a person.
And when we are on the path of the seeking journey, you met some people say, or some teacher says that whatever I'm teaching, it is the best one, and some says, okay, you can take a mantra diksha, you can take you don't need a mantra, you just have to sit for a breathing, as you say. Some people say, oh, you don't need to do mantra chanting and all that, just chant a name of om or ram, any particular point of view. So what is your thought about this, and how do you see this,
About what?
about this, like how the person can start the life, like how they choose it, or how they basically start their journey on the path of yogic life?
First of all, the determination has to be there.
Yeah.
If that determination is not there, I mean, nothing can be achieved, right? And then eventually, one should have a lot of clarity in his head, what he is doing, where he is going, where he want to go. Despite and besides saying this, I also say that it is a jump in the unknown. Huh? It is a jump in the unknown, right? So one has to have that courage of jumping in the unknown. And then, as they say, like what you were talking about was a ritual part.
Yeah.
You can do it anywhere. You can go to a local deity temple, just surrender yourself, do pranam, and you can start from there. But the best way is, I mean, you can go to your parents, you can take their blessings, and just move ahead.
Yeah, that's a nice explanation by yourself. And so at the end of our the talk, so what message you would like to convey?
My message is very simple, that this is the most unique opportunity, the only opportunity we have. We don't know where we were yesterday. When I say yesterday, means prior to birth. We have no idea where exactly we are going to go after that death. We will not be talking about the theories and the philosophies prevailing, available to us. But on a sure case basis, nobody knows about it. So why not make the maximum use of this opportunity when we are alive, when we are able to see, smell, sense. So we should have the best of this opportunity. And if there is anything called liberation, if there is anything called nirvana, if there is anything called enlightenment, then this is the only chance we have. And we should do it today. Now is the best time. This is what I have to say.
Thank you very much for your time and sharing in the beautiful city Rishikesh. And namaste. So we will once again brings another guest on our show. So you can keep watching, keep share, and it's you can say like, share, and subscribe for the Rishikesh writings. And if you have any good suggestions to, you can write to us. So we will particularly do that research for you and bring you the theme from the Rishikesh. Namaste.